So, if you've been watching my Medal and Soto videos, you'll know that the struggle is real. Pretty much every video that I put out at the moment on the Medal and Soto case is being demonetized by YouTube. Why? Most of the time I just have no idea. In fact, 99% of the time I have absolutely no idea. You've probably seen countless posts on my page over the last who knows how many months where I have expressed my frustration over yet another video being demonetized. And of course there's this new policy that YouTube have brought in, fantastic policy, for those of us who don't live stream, and that is where they decide, if they decide that they're not sure if they're going to monetize your video, they put it in for an additional review, which can take up to 24 hours. One of my Phoebe Bishop videos took, I think, 14 hours to be cleared before I could finally make it public. Of course, that was the middle of the night for me, so it was probably more like 16 or 18 hours from the time that I finished that video to the time when I finally clicked the button to make it public. It's frustrating, and it's also extremely disheartening when you spend absolutely ages working on a video only to have it demonetized. Now, I can assure you that this video that I'm doing now probably will definitely be demonetized, because I'm going to share some clips from the Docket from his live stream from today. If you haven't caught his live stream from today, he has received more FOIA documents for Stearns' case, which he has gone through. Paula, Plunder True Crime, also has them and is currently working on a video for them. In fact, it may even be out by the time you see this video. I'm behind the 8 ball with that, so I haven't actually received anything yet from the State Attorney's Office, but I have put in a FOIA request, and when I receive that back, I will do my own discussion on some of those documents. Probably not all. The reason I say that is that I'm a bit like Eric. There's certain things that I just don't want to discuss on my channel relating to what happened to Maddie herself. And of course, you know, that includes forensics relating to Maddie, which I think I want to maintain Maddie's dignity. So I just think there are some things that are better not shared on a YouTube channel. Or at least not shared on my YouTube channel. So during his live stream, Eric expressed his frustration over the way that YouTube is demonetizing those of us who are covering true crime, and it seems in particular those of us who are covering Maddie's case. And his comment was that as a small channel with only 40-something thousand subscribers, he couldn't really make a difference on his own. And I was thinking, you think you can't make a difference? I only have 5,000 subscribers. I'm going to play what he said because I think it is valuable to hear. And I am putting this out as a challenge to all those larger YouTube channels who probably just brush it off when their videos are demonetized because they make enough money anyway that it probably doesn't bother them. But for those of us with smaller channels, for individuals like myself who rely on videos being monetized to be able to continue my channel, this is a huge thing. And YouTube is crippling channels all over the place with their demonetization policies. So my challenge echoes Eric's challenge. And I'm going to play what he said first.
I just found out within the last week. I didn't know you're not supposed to say porn. I didn't know that was a wordy dirt on here. I had no clue. Yeah, well, it's porn. I mean, come on, man. You're lining your asset pockets by everybody that's up here behind the mic and a camera. And you don't want us to put out information about people killing themselves by using the S word. You don't want us to put out information to help people who have been race-salted. That's the new word that I came up with, because I know the grape word isn't supposed to be used either. But, and you demonetize my ass every other video. I'll need to turn it over on human review. But by the time it gets turned over, I've lost 1,000 views. But you still get to keep your half of the super chat stickers and memberships that are gifted and bought, while you cut me completely out because of one of your bots has yellow flagged and demonetized my video. That's why I prefer my people get their memberships on the Coffee app. You get your half, but you cut me out. Yeah, I'm not going to say corn. I'm sorry. I'm not. I really think, now they're not going to pay no attention to the little old guy down here with 47,000 people. And he's lucky to have 100 people in chat. They're not going to pay no attention to me. But if these big channels would grow a set of kahunas and everybody took a stand, I think they could make a change, and we could all make a change together. But go find me unalive somewhere. And I'm not going to say great, because, you know, the 13-year-old wasn't great. I mean, how is my header going to read Florida versus Stephen Stearns for the grape and unaliving of Madeline Soto? I mean, somebody is going to read that and say, dude is having a stroke. Dude is straight up having a stroke. What the hell is he talking about? Graping and unaliving.
So first of all, Eric, if you're watching this, consider yourself lucky, because currently pretty much every video that I do which relates to Madeline Soto gets demonetized. And I've given up putting them in for review with a actual person, because lately when I've done that, they've still come back as demonetized. And at the end of the day, the real cost is to the victims, because YouTube is censoring creators and stopping them from talking about these cases. They're penalising them for trying to share the stories of these victims, for trying to get justice for these victims. So Eric is right. It's time that YouTube creators who cover these cases stand up and say, this isn't right. This is pure greed by YouTube, and this is censorship by YouTube, and something needs to change. And, you know, I do want to thank Eric for speaking out about this, because those of you who are members have probably seen some of my recent members' videos where I have reached the point where I'm just about ready to walk away from all of this because of YouTube's policies, because of these ridiculous demonetization policies with my videos. And the ridiculous thing is, it seems like these bots are out of control. Because a lot of the time, when I look back through videos that have been demonetized, I can't even find any words that would trigger the bots. I don't know if it just doesn't like my Australian accent, or if it's programmed to target channels that talk about Madeline Soto, for example. But at least when I hear someone like Eric speaking out about it, I know that I'm not the only one who's going through this. And I don't know, maybe some of the really big channels, maybe the reason they don't speak out about it, the reason they don't do anything about it, is because, like I said, it doesn't affect them as much as it affects smaller channels who rely so heavily on views from every single video. And I'll be honest, I think there are some bigger channels out there that choose not to react to this because they'd be quite happy to see smaller channels go. More views for them. Less competition down the track, because those smaller channels won't grow to become a competitor. I could name at least one extremely large channel which started off just like the rest of us, a small channel trying to get seen. And I followed that channel from when she had fewer than 1,000 subscribers, and now that channel has somewhere over 300,000 subscribers. But won't stoop so low as to even acknowledge the existence of small channels like my own. I suspect that that channel won't do anything about this. We'll probably just sit there and go, okay, well, you know, if this case is being demonetised, I'll just cover another case. Because I'll still get several 100,000 views, no matter what I cover. So to any of the really large channels out there that may be thinking, I'm not going to worry about this, it's not my concern, I just want to remind you, you were a small channel once too. You were reliant on support from larger channels. And I can think of at least one particularly large channel now who basically got a huge boost when she first started out because of the number of channels who invited her on as a panelist. I don't know what the answer to this problem is. I know it probably does rely on the really large channels to speak out and do their bit to help out all of us who are being penalised by these ridiculous policies. So my challenge to every other creator out there who covers true crime and who is being affected by these ridiculous policies of YouTube, speak out. And maybe if we all start speaking out, we can make a difference.